What's up guys, welcome to the third episode of the top 10 setups of the day. Before we get started, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to see more amazing setups like these. In 10th place, kicking off our list, we've got this fantastic black and red setup from DoniRL. Next to that PC, you can see the iconic Keychron K4 keyboard with some G-Skill crystal crown keycaps in white, grey and red. Even though it isn't fully in the picture, that chair is without a doubt the incredibly comfy and elite Secret Lab Titan. You can also see a pair of the Logitech G733S headset, which is a fantastic affordable option for people who don't want to compromise their sound quality without breaking the bank. Now in 9th place, this setup comes from Reddit user Bwitdoc, who gets to enjoy their awesome developer battle station right in front of all of that beautiful snow. Taking a look at the actual setup, my eyes were instantly drawn to those curved 27-inch monitors mounted on a Vivo desk mount, which not only look great, but also give you plenty of screen space as well. Connected to one of the monitors, you can see a newer mic monitor mount, which is holding an Audio-Technica AT2020 Bluetooth microphone. That amazingly large mousepad in front of the monitors is a very cushy looking Kitrio gaming pad, which really helps the large Calby desk from IKEA feel less empty. Some of you watching might have recognised that chair as a very popular and comfortable sale chair, but that one is actually just a very good lookalike. Another absolutely fantastic setup, but I think it could really benefit from a poster or some decorative shelves on that space between the two windows. Now into 8th place, I'm a huge fan of this setup from Shams_Shah23. It's the perfect picture of nerdy and cozy, and even though it's in a pretty small room, it doesn't feel cramped at all. The triple monitor setup is very impressive, with a 30-inch TV on top, and two LG ultra-wide monitors on the bottom and side. They're also very clearly a big fan of Razer, as you can see a Razer Glyphus mousepad, the iconic Razer Black Widow keyboard, and a Razer mouse. All of this is sitting on the IKEA Calby desk, which seems to be a very popular desk for large setups, specifically on triple monitor setups. The comics on the wall and the Funko Pops on the window still really help give the room a cozy and lived-in vibe, whilst also just serving as some very cool decoration. My only critique for this setup would be to maybe look into some better cable management to help clear up space on and under the desk. Into 7th place, this setup from Malakyas is probably the most stylish setup I've seen today. On the walls you can see a custom built shelf, as well as custom fake bricks that they've actually made themselves. The blue glow from an off-screen RGB bulb really helps give this room a futuristic industrial vibe that works well with the pipes and exposed brick. As far as the actual setup itself goes, we've got a leaf chair and a nice large silk desk. The keyboard also appears to be a wired Keychron board that's sitting on a very large desk mat, which helps the desk feel used without being too cluttered or cramped. In 6th place, we've now got this very clean setup from Goode. Right off the bat, we've got the symmetry of the monitors, we've got plants on either side, and drawers on either side of the desk. Mix this with the accents of the lamp, the globe, the PC, and adorable Funko Pop. This desk is a custom one from IKEA, made from a light wood desktop, Alex drawers of course, and a Finvad sawhorse leg. On top of the desk, you can see the GK61 keyboard with some very high-end Zelio V2 62-gram switches that seem like they'd be a dream to type on. Next to the keyboard is a classic in the form of the Razer mouse. Their chair is also certainly hard to miss, with that DX Racer logo front and centre, which is certainly a comfortable chair for long sessions of working, or more importantly, gaming. Now in 5th place, this stunning setup from Aevoa made my jaw actually drop. Whilst plants are a very common piece of decor when it comes to setups, you very rarely see it in this volume. While some of these plants may be fake, that tree behind the monitors is in fact real and actually forces them to dust at least once a week to stop it from taking over. Moving on to the actual setup, you can see the highly acclaimed Omen 15 gaming laptop from HP on a ViaZin monitor and laptop stand. There's some green RGB light coming off the back of the monitor, which looks great next to the white and green of the controller and keyboard. I'm also a big fan of the wrist rests near the keyboard and mouse, and honestly, I'm shocked we don't see these more often in setups. The small shelf on the desk looks great with the plant life and pokeball and adds a nice little bit of colour to the mostly bare desk. Obviously though, the most important thing here is that amazingly stylish llama in the hat and sunglasses. In 4th place, user Ilovenyc touted this setup as looking great without the need for RGB, and I have to say I agree. We've had quite a few setups without RGB in this episode. The desk is incredibly striking, being made from some unfinished wood that they was able to get from Home Depot and finish themselves. They then added a wall shelf attached to riser legs from IKEA to make the top part of the desk, which really gives the whole space some added dimension and depth. Mounted to the desk, we've got an ultra-wide CRG90 49-inch monitor on the right and a vertical 24-inch MSI Optics G241 monitor on the left. Below this is a sleek NK65 keyboard with some nice Osa sleeves keycaps sitting on top of a Grove-made wool desk mat. You can also see the power behind this setup in this awesome PC with a Ryzen 7 3600X CPU, 2080 Ti GPU, 1TB NVMe, and a 2TB SSD sitting in an NR200 case. Magnetized to the case is a slick yet convenient NXXT punch magnetized headphone mount holding a set of Jabra 85H headphones. To round out this setup, they've also got an incredibly comfy Hyken mesh chair from Staples and a beautiful plant from IKEA to match their wallpaper. Our 3rd spot on the list comes from user Kontradictions with this incredibly cozy and minimal setup. The symmetry of this setup really shines through with the double RG34GK950F monitors mounted on an Ergotron LX arm, as well as a pair of KEF LS50 speakers. Below this, we've got the Keycult No. 2 Rev 1 keyboard with Milky Top Telios and simple JA keycaps resting on top of an XXI glorious desk mat. To finish the whole thing off, we've got a very familiar desk in the form of an IKEA Calby desktop. With the accents from the plants and wall art, this really is a well-rounded and beautiful setup. Now in 2nd place, if you're looking for an icy setup, then look no further than this one from Paaaathatas. Front and centre, we've got this awesome double monitor setup with a ViewSonic XG2405 24-inch 144Hz monitor and a Xiaomi Mi 34-inch 144Hz monitor. To the right of the monitors, we've got this awesome rig with a Ryzen 5 3600 CPU, 8GB RTX 2060 GPU, an MSI B450 Tomahawk AM4 motherboard, a G-Skill Trident Z Neon with 16GB of LED memory, a Seagate Barracuda 1TB internal hard drive, and an Adata XPG SX8200 NVMe drive, all tucked away in a beautiful Lian Li 011 case. They've also got a sweet glorious PC gaming mouse, a SteelSeries Arctis 3 headset, and a pair of Logitech Z333 speakers. All of this in a very impressive and futuristic setup that manages to not break the bank. At our final spot in the list, we have this unbelievable setup from Chrisesrinivasan. We have to start by talking about those two insane monitors. We have a Dell U3417W and U3419W, both of which are mounted on Vivo single arm mounts, and honestly I have no clue how you'd ever see both monitors fully while sitting in front of them. They're just so wide. Below this you can see a Poker Cherry white keyboard with custom keycaps right next to the Magic trackpad and an MX Master 3 mouse. Even though this is a standing autonomous XL desk, we have to give some appreciation for that stylish X-Chair X2. You can also see that this setup not only features an iPad, but is actually powered by a MacBook Pro in the popular Bwitdoc. This setup is not only sleek and minimal, but also very stylish and incredibly large, and all in all is definitely worthy of the number 1 spot on this list. And that is the end of the video. Check out the description for links to a lot of the gear that I mentioned in the video. If you want to see more of these incredible setups, make sure to hit that like button with notifications on so you don't miss the next episode. Leave a like down below on which setup you think should have been number 1.